All right, thank you so much for your patience on that. Welcome everyone to yoga. My name is Melissa, and tonight I'm going to be leading all levels of yoga. We'll practice together for 45 minutes. So just a reminder to listen to your body through the practice. If anything's not working for you, you can skip it, come on out and modify. Always just, make this your practice and take care of your body. So as we get started today, you're going to need your yoga mat. I always like having a blanket close by to give a little bit of padding for the body. And then also I always like the yoga block. So if you have one, that's great. And if not, feel free to grab anything that resembles it. Sometimes a book or something like that can work. Also, if you don't have a blanket, a pillow off the couch is awesome. So we're going to get started. Taking some time here to close the eyes, and we're just going to take this opportunity to drop into our breath and our body. Begin to observe your connection to the ground. So we're just going to notice where the body's meeting the ground, the edges of the legs, the edges of the feet. And then grounding down through the sitting bones, lengthening your spine, lengthening the back of your neck, reaching, stretching through the crown of the head. And then dropping in and connecting to the rise and the fall of the breath. Lengthening your breath as you inhale and lengthening your breath as you exhale. And maybe encouraging your exhale to be a little bit longer than your inhale. And then as we breathe together, just feeling your body reacting to the breath. As you breathe in, feel your navel rise and feel your navel move back and move slightly up towards the spine. Breathe into your stomach. Carry your breath into the ribs. On the inhalation, feel the ribs expanding with the breath. We expand through the front body, the back body, the right side, and the left side of your body. And then on your exhale, feel how the ribs gently flow in towards one another. So you feel the front ribs and back ribs coming in, right side and left side ribs coming in towards one another. And then breathing into the stomach, breathe into the ribs, and then take your breath up to the chest. We'll take the breath right up to the collarbone. As you breathe in, feel your chest rise, feel your chest fall. And then also feel the navel rise and fall with each breath. Knowing each time that you breathe, you bring life, you bring oxygen to all of the cells throughout your body. And if you would like, set an intention for your practice. Intention can be anything that you would like it to be, maybe to be really focused and present in the moment, maybe to push yourself a little bit, or maybe to kind of back out of poses to really take care of your body. Let's begin by drawing the chin into the chest, lengthening the back of the neck. Allow for your head to roll to the right, finding a nice neck stretch here. Come back to center, chin to your chest, and then releasing your head off towards the left. And then coming back to center, let's take our chin back into the chest and begin to circle. So we're going to create maybe large circles, maybe find smaller circles. And then just feel yourself moving and flowing with the breath. And then begin to circle in the other direction. So we're just going to reverse that movement. And then as you circle, noticing if it feels more natural to circle this way, it might feel a little unnatural to circle this way. Let's come to a neutral neck. And then taking the circle into the torso. So we'll begin to gently draw the weight around from side to side. And then this is great movement for getting into your low back, getting into the mid, into the upper back. And then also great for getting into the sides of the body a little bit. So we're just going to find a little bit of length. We'll find a little bit of space here. And then begin to flow in the other direction. We'll just reverse that movement. And then as you flow here with the breath, feel your body reacting to the movement as you shift your weight to the right. Maybe feel your left sitting bone, maybe feel your left leg lifting up, lifting off of the ground a bit. Let's let that one go. We're going to come to a neutral side, floating yourself forward, landing in a tabletop. And then as you come to table, feel free to grab a blanket if you wanted to pad your knees a little bit here. We'll take our knees, our hips in line, wrists and shoulders in line. And then feel the fingers stand nice and wide. So we're going to press down through the index finger and press down through the thumb. Let's extend that right leg behind us for a moment. Take a moment here to press out through the heel and the back of your knee. Lifting your heel up, we're going to take our heel in line with our hip. Maybe roll your hip down, even off your low back and your hip. Left hand sweeps out in front of you. We'll feel our arm frame our ear, thumb to the sky. As you exhale, let's take our knee and our elbow to touch. We're going to do a little round here. And then we're going to lengthen. As you exhale, round and lengthen. And then let's take this one 3 more times at your own pace. And coming back to balancing tabletop. Let's take our knee down and hand down for table. Lower your stomach down. We're going to lift up through the heart space. And then let your tailbone lower and the crown of your head will lower. And then flow through cat and dog for a moment. And try to lengthen your spine as you inhale. Lengthen your spine as you exhale. As you inhale, let's try to relax our shoulders from our ears. Create that space between the ears and the shoulders. Feel the shoulder blades moving down your back. And then on the exhale, rounding your back. So imagine creating space between the shoulder blades. Coming into a neutral spine, let's extend our left leg behind us. We're going to take this time to press out through the heel and the back of the knee. And then lifting that heel up, so heel in line with your hip, rolling your hip down. Right hand reaches out in front. And then with your exhale, let's take that knee and elbow to touch, do a little round, and lengthen. Exhale, round. And lengthen. Let's take that one 3 more times at your own pace. Back to balancing table. Let's take that knee down. Hand will come down for table. And let's just sit down dog when you're ready. Toes curl under, sitting bones to sky. And then let's shake it out a little bit here. Bend one knee, bend the other knee. And then allow for your head to relax, yes and no. So in down dog, just knowing that there's no right and no wrong way to move. We just want to move with our breath, move at our own pace, and a pain-free range. Let's come on through. We're going to land in plank, taking a high push-up pose. Knees can always lower to the mat if you need a little support on this one. Moving into Sphinx, we're going to start with a gentle back bend to warm the spine up. So knees can lower or not. We're going to take a reverse push-up down to the ground. Let your hands slide out in front of you. Elbows in line with your shoulders. Reach for opposite arms here. And then let's breathe. Really nice low back stretch. And then you could lift up if you'd like. Hands press down, elbows lift up, elbows wrap in. This brings us to low Cobra Pose, Shavasana. Arms can straighten. If you would like to work with seal, let's reach and stretch to the crown of the head. Lower it down to the mat. Let's take a deep full breath in here, and we're going to press ourselves back to down dog when you're ready. And then in your down dog, let's float ourselves through landing in a fold. And as you take your fold, shake it out a little bit. We're going to bend one knee, bend the other knee. Let your head relax, yeah? And let your head relax, no. And then breathing here. Let's draw those fingertips to the right, landing in a side stretch. Feel grounded through both of your feet, inside and outside of each foot. We're going to take ourselves back to center. Release your hands to the left. Reaching and stretching from your right waist. Lengthen that side body, arm, fingertip. Come on back. Let's land ourselves back to center, back into a fold. Take a half lift here. We're going to find length through our spine, lifting and lengthening. Fold yourself forward. Come on up. Let's rise for mountain as you inhale. Hands at your heart as you exhale. Let's take those hands up to the sky. We're going to take a nice deep full breath in. Fingers will interlock. Press your palms right on up. Lengthen. Release your hands to the right. Let's roll that left shoulder back. Right shoulder is rolling under. Feel that your heart is shining up to the sky. Come back to neutral. We're going to realign here. Lengthen and release to the other side. Feel really grounded through both of your feet, inside, outside of each foot. Come on back to center. Let's realign here. We're going to take our hands behind our body. Fingers will interlock, palms will touch. We're going to take a yoga mudra. Imagine squeezing a pencil between your shoulder blades. Lengthen your spine. Fold yourself forward. Try to relax the fronts of your shoulders and just notice if that helps you move a little deeper into the shoulder stretch. Hands can relax to your low back. Hands float down to the mat. Let's take that half lift here. We're going to find our flat back. Fold yourself down. Come on up. We're going to rise up to mountain. Hands at your heart space. Breathing out. Let's take that right foot up. Lifting for tree. We'll find Rakshasana. So for a tree, you can bring your foot anywhere on the leg that feels comfortable. We just don't want to place the foot right onto the knee joint. So below the knee or above the knee is fine. And you can reach your hands to the sky if that feels okay in your shoulder. Find one spot to focus on. Find a drishti. One spot to focus your concentration and to focus your awareness. From here, we're going to try Warrior 3. So you're just going to float that right leg back. Try a balanced warrior here. And finding that spot to focus on. Feel really grounded through all the parts of your left foot. So inside and outside. And then notice your body's natural tendency. If you tend to roll in, maybe tend to roll to the outside of your foot. Let's come to Crossfit Warrior from here. Right foot back. Right heel is lifted and hands are going to reach and stretch to the sky as you breathe in. Let's relax our shoulders from the ears. Creating that space between the ears and the shoulders. Feel the shoulder blades moving down your back. We're going to create some movement here. So you can always stay here. If you wanted a little more intensity, we're going to drop that knee down. Arms come to 90-degree angle and then sweep them up. Left soften down. And rise. Let's take that one 5 more times with your breath. Last come to stillness here. Do a reset back to Warrior 1. We're going to float those hands down, landing in lunge. And begin to bend and straighten your front leg. So we're going to take a really nice flow for your legs, hips, and your low back. So feel free to bring your hands on blocks if you'd like. That's going to bring the ground a little higher up. And if this is feeling really challenging, lower that back knee down into the ground for support. Let's straighten that front leg. We're going to take a fold forward. Spine relaxes, back of your head, neck relaxes and releases. Bending into your left knee. Left hand to the sky. Let's come into a twist. And as you take runner's twist with each in-breath, let's feel our spine lengthen. On your out-breath, let your twist deepen. Let's take it back on down to lunge. Float yourself into plank. Lower down. Let's come into a version of Cobra. So we're going to lower all the way down to the mat. Bring your hands right underneath your shoulders. So tips of fingers in line with tops of shoulders, pinkies in line with deltoids. Glue the tops of your feet down. Lift yourself up to your navel. Hug your arms into the sides of your body. Let your elbows run straight back. And almost create a little sensation that you could lift your hands from the mat. So this back bend is so good for strengthening your mid-back. Sometimes that can be a little bit harder part of the back to strengthen, but this one is awesome for that. Let's come on down, take a full breath here. We're gonna press back to down dog when you're ready. Float it through, let's land back in our fold. Take your halfway lift. Fold yourself forward. Come on up, let's rise from mountain. Hands at your heart space, breathing out. Left leg's gonna lift. Let's try tree on the other side. Try to roll that left knee back a little bit. So you get this really nice hip opening and we get a great stretch for your legs. Try to imagine if you could see yourself from the side that your knees would be in one line and hips would be in line. So what that means is that this knee is not moving forward and this hip isn't coming forward too much. Let's try that warrior three. So we're going to send that leg back, find a balanced warrior. So many options with arms and hands. So maybe hands up for a heart. Maybe the arms run alongside your body, palms face down. Maybe hands reach, stretch out in front of you. Let's come to Crossfit Warrior from here. We're going to float that leg back. Hands can reach up, breathing here. And feel that your back leg is really active. So you want to actively press through our heel in the back of the knee. Stay here in stillness. Maybe find some movements. You could do a little tap down. You can float yourself up. Landing back in crescent. Let's float those hands down to lunge. Bend and straighten your front leg. And let's take that nice leg and hip flow. As you bend into your front knee, just make sure that your knee doesn't extend past your ankle. So you want to feel that our knee and ankle are in line. Knee can be behind the ankle. We just don't want it to float too far forward. Let's begin to straighten that front leg. We're going to come into our fold. Bending into your front knee. Let's take that right hand to the sky. Find your twist. Reset into runner's lunge. Step back into plank. Right hand lifts to the sky. Let's try side plank. We'll come into Rakshasana. So for this one, you can lower your bottom leg down to the ground for a little support. Creates a little kickstand. You could also lift your top leg to the sky for more stretch. And you can also come down onto the forearm if you'd like. Let's do a reset. Float yourself to plank. And then opposite hand's gonna lift up. Let's try side plank on the other side. And then deciding where you wanna take this one. So modify if needed. Try to feel that top hip energetically lifting up to the sky. Release. Float yourself back to plank. Let's lower down. We're going to take up dog this time. Lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. Let's breathe here. This gives us that really nice back bend through the three parts of our back. Pressing to down dog when you're ready. Let's come on through. We're going to land in a fold. Take a half lift and fold. Let's rise on up. We're going to come back into our mountain pose and drawing your hands at your heart. Breathing out. Take a minute to take one hand to the heart, one to the navel. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathing here. As you breathe, maybe feel your body reacting to the breath. Maybe we feel our chest rise on the inhale and then fall on the exhale. Navel rises on inhale, falls on the exhale. And remembering each time that we breathe, we bring life, oxygen to all of the cells to our body. Extending your hands up to the sky. Let's take that left hand and reach for the right wrist. We're just going to grab onto the wrist. Take your right foot to the left. Lengthen here and release your hands to the left. Almost create a little sensation that your left hand could pull your right hand to the left side of the room. Come back to center, realign, lengthen, release to the other side. Try to feel really grounded through both of your feet. Let's come back to center. We're going to do a little reset on the hands and the feet, and then we're going to try that on the other side. So hands are going to reach up, right hand for your left foot, and left foot to the right. Lengthen and release to the right. Try to roll that right shoulder under, left shoulder open, and feel that your heart is shining up to the sky. Come back to center. Let's realign here. We're going to lengthen and release. Full breath in and out, expanding through your lungs, expand through your ribs. Let's gently release that one. We're going to come back to neutral. Hands reset, feet reset. Take your hands right on up to the sky. Breathe in deeply. Hold yourself forward. Let's take that halfway lift and plant your hands. Let's take that right foot back. Ground into your heels. We're going to plant our heel down onto the mat. Core engages to rise up, finding a warrior one pose. As you set up in warrior one, have that deep bend in your front knee. Let's feel the right hip come forward, left hip draw back a little bit. Same thing through your shoulders, right shoulder forward a little bit, left shoulder back a tad. Hands behind your body, fingers interlock, palms touch. Let's lengthen. Fold yourself down, breathe out. Try to relax the fronts of your shoulders and just noticing if that helps you move a little deeper into your shoulder stretch. Core engages, float yourself back on up. Hands are gonna reach and stretch to the sky. Let's open to warrior two when you're ready. And you may just have to readjust your feet on warrior two. So we're gonna have a deep bend in our front knee. Back leg is straight. Feel that the outside of your foot is lining up with the edge of your yoga mat. And you can find a nice comfy gaze off your fingertips. Try to relax your shoulders away from your ears. Reverse warrior, we'll float that front hand up and back. Back hand can glide down your back leg. Maybe wrap your arm around your low back, reach for the other hip crease, and take a half bind. Come on through, let's land back to warrior two. You can take it down to lateral angle. And then in lateral angle, feel free to draw the hand on for extended lateral angle if you'd like to go there. And then just trying not to collapse here into the bottom shoulder. We want to create a little lifting here and a little bit of lengthening in that bottom shoulder. Core engages. Let's put ourselves back on through for warrior two. We're going to straighten that front leg. Front hand up and back, reverse triangle stretch. Neutral spine. Let's take our hips to the back of the room. Hands reach and stretch forward. And then lowering your hand down when you're ready. We're going to come into triangle. We're going to come into Triconasana. Imagine your body in between two panes of glass. We want to imagine our body in one straight line. Feel your body stack and open here. Trying balancing half moon pose. So you may want to bring your hand onto your hip. You can float your right foot forward. Left hand can come out in front of you. Maybe lifting that leg on up. Hand reach and stretches to the sky if you would like. And then breathing here. Try to feel your hips stacking and opening. And your foot if you'd like. You can always turn sides. And then gently releasing. Let's come back. You're going to land in Warrior 2 pose. And then as we take Warrior 2, wiggle those hands onto the ground. We're going to take ourselves to lunge. Float yourself into plank. Lower down. Chaturanga. Let's take that up dog. So we're going to breathe into our low back, mid back, and upper back. And then float yourself back to down dog when you're ready. Toes to the hands, let's make our way forward. Take your half lift, fold yourself down, and come on up for mountain. Hands at the heart, breathe out. Let's keep those hands up, full breath in. Exhale, fold. Take your half lift, plant your hands, left foot steps back. Draw your left heel down to the ground. Come on up, let's rise for Warrior 1 pose. Feel the tailbone tuck. Feel the navel move back and up to the spine slightly. Try to create that line that flows through your spine. Hands behind your body. Let's take our shoulder release. Lengthen. Fold yourself down. Engage your core to come on up. Let's rise. Warrior 2, open it up. And then in Warrior 2, ground really firmly into your feet. So almost imagine that you could pull your feet in towards one another. So legs are super active, engaged, and energized. Reverse Warrior. Let's take that front hand up and back. Try to keep a deep bend with your front knee. So body's natural tendency is to straighten that front leg a little bit. Float yourself through, back to Warrior 2. Kick it down to lateral angle. Maybe trying that extended lateral angle if you'd like to go there. Engage your core. Let's take it back on up. Reset to Warrior 2. Straighten your front leg. Front hand up and back. Float into neutral spine. Hips are going to go back. Hands are going to reach and stretch forward. Hand releases down, landing in triangle. And breathing here. Imagine if you could see your body creating triangle shapes. We want to create this large triangle through the legs and the earth, through the arms, side body, and legs. Coming on forward, let's try our balancing half moon pose. We'll come into Ardha Chandrasana. And then you can always bring your hand for the foot if you wanted to give that bind a try. Let's release that one. We're going to float our foot back. Core engages, landing to Warrior 2 pose. Let's windmill the hands down to the ground. Take yourself to a lunge. Float yourself back into plank. Lower down Chaturanga. We'll take our up dog here. And down dog, breathe out. Right leg to the sky. And then take the right knee to your right wrist. We're going to work with pigeon. We're going to come into a nice hip stretch. So for this one, you want your right knee to be near your right wrist. And we want this lower leg to be at an angle so that your right knee is near your left hip. Try to balance yourself off. You can always take your right knee off to the right side of the room more if you need to, just so that you can feel really balanced here. We're going to lengthen and we're going to fold ourselves down for a moment. Allow for your eyes to close. Try to relax your eyebrows and your jaw. Try to let go of tension through the back of your head and the back of your neck. Relax your shoulders, arms, and hands. Relaxing the upper, mid, and low back. Relax your legs and relax your feet. And then noticing here where you might be holding tension. And then with each exhale, try to let that tension go. Try to let your body relax and release into the stretch deeper. Let's begin to release. We're going to press back to down dog when you're ready. And as you take down dog, left leg extends to the side. And then let's put that left knee through. And we're going to do pigeon on the other side. So left knee to the left wrist. Send that off to the left even more if you need to. We're going to lengthen and folding down. Letting the eyes close. Try to clear the mind of thoughts. We always have thoughts moving through the mind, maybe thoughts for the past, thoughts for the future. Try to release the thoughts. Bring the awareness to the breath. Bring the awareness to the present moment. And then remembering the present moment, the only moment where life truly exists. To release, let's begin to rise up and we're going to roll into our left hip and then sweep your right foot forward so both of your legs are in front of you. Draw the soles of your feet to touch. We'll take our knees away from one another. And we're going to be right on the edge of the feet and then the insides of the feet roll from one another, just like a book. You can lengthen your spine, try to feel grounded evenly through both sides of your body. Folding down, and if you wanted, you could use the help of your elbows to draw the knees further from one another. So we're just going to let ourselves come on forward to fold. And then trying to let your body relax deeper into the stretch. Maybe notice where you feel the stretch in your body. We all experience each pose so differently. Maybe feeling the stretch through the legs, through the hips, maybe through the low back, maybe through the back of the head and neck as you let your body relax into the stretch. Coming on up, legs extend in front of you. Give your legs a little bit of a shake out in front. And then from here, let's make our way down onto our back. And as you come down to your back, reach for your feet. We'll take a happy baby stretch. And then flexing your feet, reaching through your heels. Maybe do a little rock side to side. Maybe find stillness here. Knees are going to come up and into your chest. Arms, hands around knees or shins. Give them that nice little hug in. And working with bridge pose, draw your feet in line with your hips. Knees will be bent. You can always use your yoga block and draw that underneath your low back if you'd like. Let's engage our core. So tailbone will tuck. Begin to lift your low back and mid back from the mat. If you wanted more of a back bend, maybe take your hands together under your body. Fingers interlock, palms will touch. Lift your hips up. So imagine you could squeeze a beach ball between your knees. Feel really grounded in your feet. Maybe feel your 10 toes lifting from the mat. Pressing firmly through the inside and the outside of each foot. Breathing in and breathing out here. Maybe try to lift those hips up a little bit higher. And then gently releasing. We're going to release our hands. Tailbone will tuck. Lower your upper, mid, and low back down to the ground. Soles of the feet will touch. Knees come away from one another. And we'll try Supta Baddha Konasana, bound angle. So we're just doing this one seated. We're going to try the reclining variation. And if you'd like, you can bring one hand to your heart and to your navel, closing the eyes for a moment. And then with the help of the hands, let's draw those knees together, hugging those knees to your chest. Working with a hip stand, working with shoulder stand if you'd like. So for our hip stand, hips can stay just where they are on the ground. So here, you could also bring a block underneath your low back. If you wanted to work with a shoulder stand, you could gently support the low back with your hands. If your legs are at a little bit of an angle, that's where we are at our half shoulder stand. Feet aim to where the wall and the ceiling meet, and a full shoulder stand, legs are right on up to the sky. A couple options here. And once you're in it, just make sure that you're breathing. So really easy to hold your breath. We want to keep that breath flowing in and out. And try to keep that gaze very neutral as well. So we just don't want to be looking around. You don't want to look at the computer screen. You just want to listen with the ears. I'm going to hold this one for a moment. And coming out nice and slow. So just one vertebrae at a time. Feel each vertebrae connect. Feel the space between the vertebrae connect to the mat. And then just give ourselves a moment to pause, to let the breath neutralize, to let our spine relax as well. Coming into relaxation time, we'll come into Shavasana. So for this time, we are just going to let our bodies rest along our yoga mat. You could take a traditional pose. This is where the arms and our legs are relaxed. Knees can bend, feet can plant, feet to edges of mat, and then let the knees come in. This is a nice, gentle variation if you have any tension in your low back or you just want to give those muscles a little bit of a break. Let your palms face up. That'll give a nice little rotation and opening in your shoulders. Let your eyes close. They say that Shavasana is the most important pose of the whole entire yoga practice. This is our opportunity to experience and integrate all of the benefits of our practice into the mind and into the body. Allow for your breath to deepen. Maybe wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Coming onto your side, finding your way into a fetal pose. Maybe create a pillow with the lower arm, gently support your head. Feel your body taking the shape of the posture. And then coming on up, let's make our way into a seated position when you're ready. And you can sit in any way that feels comfortable for your body. So we just want our knees to be comfortable. We want our body to be at ease. So that might be with the legs crossed. You can always extend the legs out in front as well. Bringing your hands at your heart if you'd like in Anjali Mudra in prayer position. Letting your eyes close. Thanking yourself for practicing yoga. For doing something so good for your mind, body, and spirit. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. It's so wonderful to be here with you. And I look forward to class next time. Take care.
Okay, thanks, Melissa.
You're welcome. We'll see you later, Dave.